Aminata. I am back again to give you another reading. I'm so glad that you enjoyed the first one. And I hope that you are doing well. So I'm just going to start because you have a few questions that you wanted me to answer. So one of the questions was, what are the goals for you that you need to work on during the last quarter of 2022? So Aminata Kane, what are the goals that she needs to work on for the last quarter of 2022? Aminata Kane. Okay, so I have the Page of Swords. This talks about all talk, no action. So I guess what I'm getting at is putting your ideas on paper, actually going through with a lot of your goals, okay? Not just, writing them down or thinking it and not actually pursuing it. So that's what the Page of Swords kind of talks about. Talking about things, but not actually doing them. And then we have the Page of Cups is here. And the Page of Cups represents a creative block. Okay. So, I'm getting that you need to get out of a creative block for the last quarter of 2022. Also, the Four of Pentacles, this talks about savings, trying to build up I guess your finances, okay? The Four of Pentacles, that talks about savings, money. The Empress card is here in reverse. This talks about being codependent, okay? And then the Page of Pentacles, that talks about, being financially independent, moving forward in your career, what you're passionate about, kind of goes hand in hand with the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups. So basically what I'm getting at is that you kind of have to go through with your goals versus just, just writing them down. The goals that you're really passionate about, whether it's your career, trying to do different things, it's really important that you go through with them. So that's what I'm getting at for the last quarter of 2022, what you should be focusing on, okay? So moving on from that, what will happen to Aminata Kane if she enters the fashion industry spiritually, okay? What would happen to Aminata Kane if she enters the fashion industry? What would happen to her spirit if she enters the fashion industry? Aminata Kane. Okay, so I will say this. You will have, people in the industry trying to manipulate you, or people that may be jealous of you, because the Knight of Cups, that represents jealousy, moodiness, people being manipulative. So you will run into people trying to basically stop what your plan is or what your goals are. The High Priestess talks about you still being connected with your spirituality. And then we also have the Eight of Cups, and that talks about withdrawal. So eventually when you get into the fashion industry, you can run into a bit of stagnation, okay? And what that means is you might go through a period where you don't want to play the industry games, and you might just want to do things independently. It's kind of hard as a designer when you're first coming into the game to do things independently. But you will have people trying to come in between you and your fave, trying to distract you. That's just part of, how the industry works. It looks like you still will be connected with what you believe in. And then also I do have the Magician card that talks about, manipulation, people playing dirty in the industry. So you will have to be careful. It won't be easy because you're dealing with a lot of different people that have been in the industry for so long, and they know how to take advantage of the newcomers or the new people coming into the game. Okay. So the next question is, will someone try to spiritually harm me as I enter the fashion industry? So I did get that there were going to be people that were going to try to spiritually harm you, but let me just make sure. For Aminata Kane, will there be people trying to spiritually harm her if she enters the fashion industry? For Aminata Kane, will there be people trying to spiritually harm her if she enters the fashion game? Yeah, I feel like you will have a tower moment. This talks about a change in a negative way. We also have the Knight of Wands. This talks about, being impulsive. Okay. The Knight of Wands, that talks about an impulsive action happening, running into people that could be impulsive, maybe a little bit mean. The Five of Wands, it talks about conflict. And we also have the Moon card. This talks about anxiety and fear that you might go through. Your anxiety might rise up a little bit being in the industry because you're going to be around a lot of people that you don't know. And those people could potentially take advantage of you. So I definitely would be careful if you're entering the fashion game because you just don't know who to trust. So the next question is, what do I need to do to make myself happy? What does Aminata need to do to make herself happy? Aminata, what does she need to do to make herself happy? Aminata Kane, what does she need to do to make herself happy? So the Seven of Swords pops out. That talks about you experiencing like betrayal, people being deceitful or lying to you. So I would let go of any baggage that you may carry. Okay. Also, the Page of Cups. This talks about you finding your passion, going through with it, sticking to your passion. I remember you telling me through your DMs that you weren't able to do like an internship or anything like that, anything super steady. It was going to be like short-lived. I would find something that really feeds you and helps you grow, whether it is fashion or not. Having something that helps you be creative is definitely going to make you more happy. We also have the Four of Pentacles, and this talks about, finding financial independence, having stability when it comes to finances. That's also going to take a weight off of your shoulder. Then you may not be so worried about money and your finances as much if you're stable within your career, if you're able to find something that makes you money. Okay. So the next question, what does Aminata Kane need to let go of? Aminata Kane, what does she need to let go of? Aminata Kane, what does she need to let go of? So the Five of Swords is here. This talks about past resentment that you hold on to. Okay, that's still, you know, within your heart. Six of Swords, it talks about baggage that needs to be released. Okay, so those are the things that you need to let go of. Also, the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, that talks about misdirected activity. We do have the Devil card that talks about sexual attraction. Okay, there's a lot of baggage, feeling betrayed energy that I'm getting. So I would let go of any baggage that you carry. If you experience any betrayal from anybody that you were close to, I will let go of that and try to do things that make you happy. Or if you want somebody to talk to, you know, go to therapy, have a journal or something that can keep you sane, so that way you're not holding on to any type of baggage that you might have experienced in the past. Okay, so the next question, what is something I can do that I can monetize? What is something that Aminata can do? Aminata Kane, what can she do to get something monetized? What is something that she can do to make money off of? Aminata Kane, what can she do to, what is something that she can do to get some money or monetize? So I'm getting the Knight of Cups. It talks about passion, creativity. So I'm getting the area of fashion is where you'll really be able to make some money. And then the 10 of Pentacles is here. That talks about the dark side of wealth. This talks about if you do get into the industry, you will be able to make some money. You will have some challenges, but you will be able to make some money. The Chariot card is here in reverse. It talks about a lack of direction. And then we also have the Six of Cups. It talks about a lack of playfulness. So that means that if you really get serious about the fashion thing, I know that you already have like goals and stuff in mind. You've already, you know, putting your effort. But if you really try to make connections with people in the industry, you'll be able to be successful. It won't be easy. You will run into people trying to distract you. You will run into people trying to, I guess, deteriorate. You'll run into people that will try to ruin your spirituality, but you will have some success, okay? And then we also have the Five of Cups. It talks about failure and disappointment. So you will, you know, have a bit of a stagnation period within your career. And this also talks about you being disappointed within the industry. Your eyes will be open up to different things. So you will have to be careful about that, okay? So what else? Why haven't me and my family moved out yet? Why hasn't Aminata Kane and her family moved out yet? Why hasn't Aminata and her family moved out yet? Aminata Kane. Why hasn't her and her family moved out yet? Why hasn't Aminata and her family moved out yet? Aminata Kane and her family, why haven't they moved out yet? Aminata Kane, why hasn't her and her family moved out yet? Okay. So the Page of Pentacles is here in reverse. It talks about procrastinations, delays, stagnation, okay? We also have the Three of Wands. This talks about delays, not being able to move forward. We also have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. It talks about a bad investment, okay? This talks about the money may not be right or completely there for a move out, especially at this current time with, you know, the recession and everything. Not saying that there's no money, but I'm just saying there's a bit of thinking about finances, okay, in regards to moving. And then we also have the Six of Cups in reverse, and that talks about, you know, playing it small, lack of foresight, a lack of playfulness. So that's the energy I'm getting. I'm getting that there's a lack of direction in regards to the move, a lack of planning, things not going the exact way it was supposed to go, and that's the reason why. Okay, not saying that it can't happen in the future, because I do feel like the Chariot card is here, and this talks about success. It talks about, you know, moving forward. But right now, I'm getting a lot of stagnation, okay? So in regards to moving, there's a lot of delays and lack of foresight and planning in regards to that. Okay, so the next question was, how is Aminata's body feeling? Aminata Kane. How is her body feeling? Aminata Kane. How is Aminata Kane's body feeling? Aminata Kane. How is her body feeling? So in regards to that question, the Knight of Pentacles comes out. That talks about perfectionist, working on your body. We also have the Ten of Wands. It talks about burdens, challenges that you have faced. We have the Nine of Swords. It talks about sadness. You're not being completely satisfied with your body, okay? You kind of feel worn out, or you need to do more. You need to be more consistent with, you know, how you want. You need to be more consistent with, you know, maybe your daily exercises. We also have the Five of Cups, and this talks about moving on, forgiveness, okay? So I am getting that you're not completely satisfied with your body. You could be feeling a little bit worn out, but you are putting in work, you are putting in progress, and eventually it will show. Eventually, you will be pleased with everything in regards to your body, okay? What was Aminata Kane's past life like? Aminata Kane, what was her past life like? Okay, so the Empress card is here. The Empress card talks about beauty. So this talks about in your past life, you maybe weren't a model. You definitely were in fashion, or in beauty talks about makeup. So basically, beauty was definitely in your past life. Fashion, this talks about you could have been a model or something like that in your past life. We also have the King of Pentacles. This talks about money, finances, wealth, and status. Okay, so it looks like in your past life, you might have been with a man that had wealth, money, fame, status. Okay, and then the Queen of Wands talks about confidence. We also have, you know, the Three of Cups. This talks about a person that was friendly, you know, a party goer, was around a lot of people, had a lot of connections and friends. So that's what the Three of Cups kind of represents in regards to that. So in your past life, it looks like you were somebody that was, you know, more outgoing, more free. And that is the energy that I'm getting. How is God feeling about Aminata currently? Aminata Kane. How does God feel about her currently? Okay, so the Page of Cups is here. The Page of Cups. God feels like you're going through a creative block. Okay. We also have the Three of Cups here in reverse. That talks about being a loner. In reverse, that talks about partying alone, being alone. So he kind of feels like you're a loner. The Seven of Pentacles is here in reverse. It talks about short-term reward. And then the Hangman, this talks about stalemate. So God right now is feeling like you're not putting your all into your career and what makes you happy. I do feel like, you know, I am getting that energy that God is proud of you, but he wants to see you do more and, you know, be more happy within yourself. And that's the energy that I'm getting. How does Aminata's how does Aminata's soul feel right now? Aminata's soul at the moment. How does Aminata's soul feel? Aminata's soul at the moment. So the Hermit card just talks about a lot of withdrawal energy, not being fully satisfied, craving more. The Page of Swords is here in reverse. The Page of Swords kind of represents delays, hazardness, stagnation, all talk. So I kind of, it's almost like you might feel a little bit empty inside right now because things may not be fully where you want them to be, okay? Is John Morant the next generation of the NBA? John Morant, is he the next generation of the NBA? John Morant, is he the next generation for the NBA? Okay, so it looks like he is putting a lot of work to be there, but there's a disconnection in that. The High Priestess is here in reverse. So that talks about there's still a disconnection. He's not reaching his full potential just yet. Okay, now I don't really know too much about basketball, but it feels like he's still not reaching his full potential. The Hierophant, this talks about him conforming, challenges he may go through. And then we also have the Eight of Swords in reverse that talks about new beginnings, trying one more time. It seems like he might have a change in his career in the future. The Temperance card is here in reverse, and that talks about an imbalance. He does have a good reputation so far, or a semi-good reputation, because the strength card is here in reverse, and this talks about him not always making the right decisions. This talks about a lack of wisdom, but most of his peers see him in a positive light, the Sun card. So I don't feel like as of right now, he has reached his full potential in the NBA yet. It looks like he needs to make better decisions. He is putting in some hard work, but there's still a disconnection, okay? And let's see. The next question was, will he win a championship ring? The NBA basketball player, will he win a championship ring? Ja Morant. Ja Morant, will he win a championship ring in the future? I feel like it could be possible if he gets on the right team, but there's a lot of stalemate energy in regards to that. The Hangman is here. This talks about stalemate. The Justice card is here in reverse. That talks about lack of accountability. The Empress card is here. That talks about codependency. And then we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. And this talks about being confident, overly confident sometimes. It seems as though even though people seem a positive light, there is a bit of ego, or, you know, him being kind of cocky. That also can hinder him. But we have the Three of Cups, and this talks about connections, him getting on the right team, and it's possible, because technically when it comes to sports, even if you have one or two good players, there's a whole team that you need to win. So it looks like, you know, he might have some challenges with that, but I'm getting that it's more of him getting on the right team than anything. The Three of Wands in reverse, it talks about distractions and delays, and then the Two of Pentacles in reverse, that talks about indecision. So I feel like because of his team, he may not be too happy with certain people on his team. There's a lot of distractions and delays with that. It looks like if he goes to another team, it could be possible for him. I don't even know what team he plays on. Let's see. Is Ja Morant doing his rituals? Ja Morant. Is he doing his rituals? Ja Morant. Is he doing any of his rituals? No, I'm not really getting that. Yeah, the Five of Cups, this talks about failure, disappointment, and then the Hangman came back up, that talks about stalemate. It looks like he might hang out with people that do their rituals. The Four of Wands talks about celebration and harmony. But as for him, it doesn't really look like he does like rituals and stuff like that. Does he have to do any? I don't see that he has done any sacrifices, but let me see. Has Ja Morant has he done any sacrifices? Ja Morant, has he done any type of sacrifices or anything? And now the Ace of Wands is here in reverse. It talks about a lack of direction. And then the Three of Swords, it talks about heartbreak, okay? Let me see again. Has Ja Morant done any sacrifices, any rituals or sacrifices? Ja Morant. He had the opportunity to. He had the opportunity to. There's a lot of restriction energy. I don't really feel like he's really in the industry like that. You know, that cult of like doing rituals and stuff like that. I feel like you got to reach a certain stardom to get there. Like you got to be like a LeBron James, Steph Curry status. I don't think he's on the same level as them, because I don't really know him like that. Is he in some secret society? I don't think so. I'm not getting that he really be doing his rituals or anything like that. John Morant, is he doing any sacrifices or any rituals? John Morant, is he doing any sacrifices or rituals? I'm not really getting that. I'm getting that, people have asked him to do like, rituals and stuff like that, but I don't really feel like he's in the industry like that. He makes roughly, like it says, like 9 to 10 million a year. That is it's not on the low side of like, it's not on the low side for being a basketball player, but it's not necessarily on the high end either. Because, like the Steph Currys and LeBrons, the ones that actually be selling their soul, they get hundreds of millions of dollars annually. Okay. It's not, 10 million is not bad. That's not bad, but it's not for an athlete. It's not necessarily on the higher side. That's more on the lower range. But that's not bad at all. So let me see. What was the other question? Does John Morant do any drinking or drugs? John Morant. Does he do any drinking or drugs? John Morant. Does he do any drinking and drugs? John Morant. Does he do any drinking or drugs? I do feel like he does stuff, but it's not something that's consistent. Because the devil card, this talks about dark thoughts. This talks about doing things you're not necessarily supposed to be doing. This also talks about sexual attraction. I feel like he's very lustful. That's the energy I'm getting. This talks about the Nine of Wands, over investment. Eight of Pentacles, this talks about misdirected activity. And then we also have the Eight of Cups in reverse. And this talks about, withdraw energy, but also trying one more time. I believe they have to get drug tested when you're an athlete. So him doing stuff is not consistent. It's like if he go to a party once in a while, he might have a drink, but it's nothing consistent because he got to get drug tested. Is John Morant's father his handler? John Morant. Is his father his handler? John Morant. I do feel like he plays a role in his career. He does make some decisions. They don't always agree on everything. There's a lot of disharmony. The Knight of Cups, it talks about passion, creativity. And then we also have the Three of Pentacles that talks about disharmony. So they do butt heads. But I do feel like he values his opinion. I wouldn't say handler, but he definitely is somewhat involved. And he's definitely involved in the decision making when it comes to John Morant. Okay? And then the Three of Wands, this talks about expansion. This talks about growth. So he's trying to help his son succeed. I do feel like in the future, John Morant, he could definitely sell his soul in the future and get that big net worth like the LeBrons and the Steph Currys. Get those $100 million deals that they get yearly. I think LeBron's a billionaire, and I think Steph Curry is close. That's how you really know they sold it. Okay, because like 10 million to like for an athlete nowadays, that's nothing. That's how much he makes a year. Like it said 10 to like 11. That's nothing because, you know, like the Russell Wilsons and the LeBrons and all these big athletes, they're getting hundreds of $1 million deals. And even though Russell Wilson says that he's a Christian, he's still got to do his stuff too. It's probably on the back end of things and it's not where people could really see. John Morant, is he on the DL? Is he low-key gay? John Morant, is he low-key gay? John Morant, is he low-key gay? John Morant, is he low-key gay? I'm not really getting that he's gay. I do feel like he can experiment maybe in the future, but there's conflict in that. The Five of Wands that talks about conflict. And then the Death card that talks about an ending. The Knight of Swords that talks about impulsiveness. So sometimes he can make impulsive decisions. Sometimes he can make impulsive decisions. I feel like that's more with women than anything. But it does look like he wouldn't mind trying something. This talks about, the Fool card represents being spontaneous. So like in the future, I can see him experimenting men. And it's called being vicarious. That's basically what it's called. Like, you know, what if, you know, this might feel good or whatnot. So I hope you enjoyed your reading. Thank you for always supporting me, and I hope you have a great day.